had situations and we were playing tentative, and then we put on the part of the game where we got the lead. As they started watching the positive part, you would hear words of encouragement.
Like Rudy say, let's stick together, let's do this together, baby. We did it all year together, let's do it now.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3, Rockets!
Heading to Phoenix for Game 3, the Rockets were well aware of just how much was at stake.
The pressure was on us like you wouldn't believe. If we lose this series, that label, choke, will be carried with us for a long time. Those guys just dug into the trenches, and it was going to be a war.
Houston was in dire need of a spark, and they would get it from Vernon Maxwell, who ignited the Rockets from long range.
Maxwell, 3!
Vernon had a huge game. He just dominated.
Maxwell, how about 5? 5 threes in a row.
Then from there, everyone else filled in and just followed their script.
Nice pass to it.
And the memories of the first 2 games had given the Rockets additional fuel.
Choke City. They took it as an insult to their professionalism, and they went to prove everybody wrong.
Oh, and the Rockets are rumbling in Phoenix.
I really was proud of the way that we handled ourselves and the way that the players pulled together.
I can't tell you how impressed I am with the Houston Rockets. All that's happened in the first 2 games, and to battle back. This is not a choke team, I'll tell you that right now.
With their stunning turnaround, the Rockets would change the entire course of the series. The Suns were left to wonder just what had hit them as Houston captured the next 2 games in Phoenix.
Olajuwon putting the cherry on the sundae.
It was really one of the miracle series. It was for us, I think, of all time.
First 2 games we lost was a blessing in disguise because now we have something going, this chemistry that we have now. We try our best to maintain it. If we maintain it, we go all the way.
And the Rockets would carry that chemistry into the 7th and deciding game. Relying on their unity and teamwork, they would put Phoenix away for good and complete their remarkable comeback.
Shot clock at 1. Cassell.
I remember one play at the end of the game, Charles Barkley was under the basket. I had the ball, and he said, come down the lane. I said, no, I gave it to Dream. And he ends up pushing Dream on the floor, and Dream falls down, but he makes the basket.
It was one of the great comebacks of all time, so the headlines went from Choke City to Clutch City.
The Houston Rockets on their way to the Western Conference Final.
Clutch City. It was like, now that's what we're talking about.
Since 1994, the closest post office to the Compaq Center where the Rockets play, you can send a letter to Clutch City, Texas, 77046.
After marching through the Western Conference playoffs, Houston faced a grueling test in the '94 finals against the New York Knicks. New York had its own star center in Patrick Ewing, who had dealt Akeem Olajuwon a crushing defeat 10 years earlier in the NCAA finals. Once again, Ewing stood between Akeem and his championship dream.
It was a classic matchup. But I look at the opportunity for the city of Houston. In the history of this city, there's never been a team that won a championship, so there would be something so unique and something special.
From the start, the series was a ferocious battle. They were evenly matched teams playing unrelenting defense, and nothing would come easy.
Here we are playing a very tough New York team in probably the most physical series we've ever played in.
Ford able to work his way around Ewing. Smith takes it to the basket, rejected by Olajuwon.
I remember Pat Riley standing in front of the bench, stomping his foot and anguishing, and Rudy responding at the other end of the floor.
Pressure on the ball. You got to expect pressure.
We didn't give an inch. They didn't give an inch. It was a dogfight.
Tied at 1 game apiece, the series shifted to New York, where the Knicks' fabled home court advantage only added to the Rockets' challenge.
Herrera rejected. Patrick Ewing.
In Game 3, the Knicks were just seconds away from forging ahead in the finals when an unlikely hero stepped forward for Houston.
Being a rookie, taking that caliber shot, for everything was on the line. I must have been out my mind, but my natural reaction was to shoot the ball.
Here's Cassell for three.
He got it! The rookie hit it! Wow, big shot by Cassell.
What poise.
Sam never met a shot that he was nervous about taking, never a flinch, never a nerve exposed. That was classic Sam.
Cassell's dramatic shot sealed the Rockets' victory and ultimately prevented them from losing the series in New York, as the Knicks responded with a furious assault to capture games 4 and 5, giving them the series lead and the momentum as the finals shifted back to Houston.
Starks puts a spike in the heart of the Rockets.
One win away.
That's where they go back to the Phoenix series. That's where it all comes out of Choke City. And they said, we've been here before. 3-2 isn't a problem. We're coming home for both games.
What also reassured the Rockets was the fact that Akeem, the player who mattered most to their fortunes, displayed the least amount of concern.
I was down, and Dream saw me and said, Mario, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. We're going home. I said, man, the big fella still has his spirits up when we're down 3-2. And when he said that, I sort of had a good feeling.
And in Game 6, Akeem would give the Rockets an early lead.
Olajuwon, beautiful move.
But New York would come storming back, led by the sizzling shooting of John Starks.
The muscle in on the right side, kicks it out back to Starks, open for a three, and he scores!
John Starks, unconscious.
And though Houston held a 2-point lead, Starks would have a chance to end the series and their season with one shot. In the game's waning moments, the Rockets tried desperately to hang on.
All right, here we go. 5.5 seconds to go. Now to Starks. Starks against Maxwell. Ewing sets the pick. Starks with a look from three, tipped, and it's knocked away, and the Rockets win. The ball was tipped. Olajuwon, Joe. Olajuwon with the big tip.
Here's John Starks, the hardest guy in the gym, about to unleash a three, and Dream just reacted just so quickly, just with great determination, gets a hand on it.
The MVP saves the Rockets.
Akeem showed us later on that he got maybe the tip of his finger on the ball.
Call it a fingertip, it was probably a fingernail, but it was enough to divert the shot.
And there will be a Game 7.
One game away from the
Our whole thing was not to predict the future. Hakeem used to be like, there's no prophets in this room. And then we're like, that's right, there's no prophets. Nobody knows what's gonna happen. But we want to win. So everyone say, we want to win, and then we'll win.
The Houston Rockets are about to play the biggest game in this city's history.
Through my experience, anything good in life, you have to work real hard for. There might be times when we get down, but like we've done all year, instead of pulling apart, we pull together, and we're going to get this thing done.
Let's go, let's take it home. Let's take it home. Breakout championship. 1, 2, 3.
In the most important game they had ever played, the Rockets would answer the challenge, displaying the total team effort that had become their trademark.
Inside to Akeem, shovels back away. Coming in for the left.
Yes, the Rockets are fired up.
Savona Smith off balance, fired, and banked in a 30-footer.
It almost goes back to being a little kid again when you get excited and things start moving fast and you're just not hearing clear.
To Maxwell, a three-pointer. Maxwell, yes! Maxwell for three!
When we came from San Diego to Houston, we had no fans. We weren't winning very many games. So to watch these players pull together to bring a whole city together was just phenomenal.
To the 1994 NBA World Champion.
Houston was just one of those cities that had an NBA team. Now, we were the champs. We were the team that little kids had the jerseys on now. We were that team.
An NBA championship for Houston Texans.
It was just something that's so overwhelming. You've been hearing about the championship so long. Now to actually realize it, that it's over, we've won it, is unbelievable.
As they entered the 1995 season, the Rockets were focused on raising another championship banner, but their dreams of glory would soon give way to the harsh reality of defending their title.
Kenny Smith gets the layup won't stay down.
Inside, knocked away from Herrera. Herrera steals it back and missed the
Look at the scoreboard, 25-8 over the defending world champions.
We were sleepwalking. Everyone was patting each other on the back. A lot of our role players and a lot of people who weren't known nationally were starting to get recognized nationally, getting commercial deals, and we were getting fat cat-itis. We were sitting back.
I was always holding on to that hope that we were going to somehow turn it around, but something was missing.
As Houston sank lower in the standings, it seemed that their chances of repeating were slipping away.
Rudy wanted to keep this team intact, but he just saw that the same mistakes were happening and the team just couldn't get out of the rut. And he finally came to the realization that if we stay pat, we're not going to do it again.
It was at that point that the Rockets made a bold move, swinging a trade for hometown favorite Clyde Drexler.
From the University of Houston, by Slamma Jamma, Clyde, the Clyde Drexler!
Drexler and Akeem Olajuwon had been teammates at the University of Houston on the team known as Phi Slamma Jamma. Now, after Clyde had spent 12 years in Portland, they were together once again.
Did ever in your wildest dreams think you and Clyde would be reunited anywhere?
Well, it's too good to be true, you know, so I still can't believe it.
The reaction in town was the prodigal son returns home. A lot of the people around the NBA, their question was, how's this going to work?
To acquire Clyde, the Rockets had traded Otis Thorpe, a key player on their '94 championship team. And the move threatened Houston's hard-earned chemistry.
I had guys on our team wondering if the trade was the right thing to do. You know, I would be sort of talking to these guys who would give me this blank stare.
I really didn't like it, you know, and, you know, I just didn't know what to figure. I said, damn, you know, we're losing a big man. Otis been good for us.
We knew we could win a championship with the basketball team we had. So we felt that Clyde is reaping some of the benefits of what we've done. He's getting this excitement and this press for coming to Houston for what we've already put together.
Drexler had been a perennial all-star with the Trailblazers, but despite 2 trips to the NBA Finals, he could not lead them to a championship.
When you think about being the best team in the world and you're that close to it, it's tough, and those are opportunities that you may never get again. And so when the trade actually went through, it was hard to believe, because in the back of my mind, I knew that something special was going to occur.
Drexler with another move for the slam! Clyde Drexler! Get a license plate number. I think it starts with 22.
Clyde made me change my mind real quick. He came in, knew what the press he had on him, and came and responded.
Here's Drexler on the run. Oh! Drexler! That's why he's one of the greats in the game.
Clyde came in with an energy that we hadn't had. He was so excited to be there in Houston and so excited for this opportunity. He brought us back.
They're looking for Clyde. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Drexler wins it. There it is. Drexler wins it.
One hard.
Despite the boost from Clyde, the Rockets entered the playoffs as just the 6th seed in the West. And without home court advantage, the road to repeating seemed more daunting than ever. Up first was John Stockton, Karl Malone, and the Jazz. Utah had won 60 games during the season and now seemed ready to dethrone Houston.
Blue, Traylor, keep, score! Unbelievable!
For 4 games, these two teams would battle each other to a standstill. They would trade leads, victories, and home court advantage.
Now it's down to winner take all Sunday afternoon in Salt Lake City.
All season, the Jazz had been virtually unbeatable at home, and it appeared that Game 5 would be no different.
Oh, what a dunk!
The Jazz were clicking on all cylinders, and it seemed that Houston's reign would come to an abrupt end.
20 for 3, shot, yes, 106 for 3, 20! Jazz lead at 82-75, timeout Rockets!
Utah had us And I recall sitting courtside there and thinking, is this the way the